Hey, good morning. I was watching Monty's stream about this the other day, but Monty, I'm a fan. I dig your stuff, but sometimes it takes you so long to get to the point that I have to drop off. I can't. And So let's go through this. This is where Girl World starts getting in real life, and Gorlick Bread seems to think this is unique to Girl World. It's not. I'm sorry, honey. It's not unique to Girl World. And I'll give you an example.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Never thought that I would make this title. I waited a couple days to see if anyone else would cover this because it's an interesting story. It is a sad story. It is a story where no one is right and no one is wrong. And it is, in my opinion, a very unique situation to Girl World. So if you're not familiar with Purple Glitter, Indica Queen, been in the community for a very long time, I will start this by saying much of her deleted videos I did take some time to watch. I've also watched a number of Monty's videos, and I understand that you may have feelings about either one of them. What I will offer to you is this. If you watch Monty's videos, he very much downplays the relationship, the interactions they had. Purple Glitter very much plays up the relationship, the type of relationship, the tenure of the relationship, and what came along with that relationship. I would believe, having been in a situation similar, the truth is likely somewhere in between. That perhaps one person undervalued the other, while another overvalued.
This, you might be right. You might be right. But it's not unique to Girl World. It's not. I've been heavily involved in politics, and I helped a friend get a job. And he started, I started an organizing effort to unionize the people on that job. And he wanted to take it over. So he was very upset that I had more influence than he did, and started really attacking. This was only a few months after I was bit by the bulldog. So I was going through all kinds of crazy pain cycles where I was completely out of it for usually about 3 days at a time. And he would take advantage of that. And well, I'll get into it.
The other. Outside of that, what we do know is Purple Glitter, for a period of time, was continuing to contact Monty. And I offer that because it's important to understand that in the concept of the story, where at a time Purple Glitter had a lawyer, there was a lot of communication going back and forth. At some point, the lawyer elected to step away and no longer requested to have contact from Purple Glitter.
Okay.
Now, during this time, we do know that individuals within Girl World were reaching out to her with the direct intention of appearing to be the lawyer to coax Purple Glitter into contact. This is where I say,
yeah, but she should have had his contact information and known that these people were not actually connected to him, right? Like, I mean, I've approached different attorneys over time to represent me for various reasons. And when they say no, that's it, right? I know what their phone number is. I know what their email information is. How are you going to impersonate that? How do you scam that? How do you make it believable enough that, oh, I changed my mind. I'm going to represent you now, right? In the case of this friend that I helped get a job, and he freaked out because he wanted to be in charge of this organizing effort I was working on to try and unionize the canvassers. He had gotten my mother's phone number because he organized a birthday party for me that year and started calling my mom, trying to get into her head. Yeah. I had to have a very stern conversation with my mom about not affiliating with people that I have discarded from my life. Because if I've left them out, they are dangerous, right? There's something wrong there. And I got a letter, a cease and desist, to not talk about the situation, because I did go live on social media and talked about what he was doing. And I got a cease and desist. So I called his attorney and I said, did you know he's contacting my mother? Did you know he's threatening to contact my other family members? I don't think you have a very strong case here.
Hey, there's really no one completely in the right. There's really no one completely in the wrong, because we all understand now through the arrest procedure that Purple Glitter had no business contacting her lawyer, even if she felt the lawyer was trying to contact her. But we do know in real time that we saw individuals from Girl World take images from the lawyer's Facebook page and personal messages and try to make them appear on YouTube channels that it was him reaching out to her. And this was done continuously. This certainly created a lot of pressure for Purple Glitter, who might have felt that the lawyer was reaching out to her. And at some point she elected to reach out to him, which in turn became a violation that led to her arrest. When I say this is a unique to Girl World situation, I can't think of any other community that would essentially take advantage of a person that is not supposed to be.
Well, like I said, Gorlick Bread, you have not worked in politics, and you don't know what sort of crazy personalities that you can meet there. I was stalked and harassed by somebody that I volunteered for. He grabbed my ass on election night in 2018. And I told him, no, you're being inappropriate. You need to stop. And I reported it to Our Revolution. And instead of helping me, they lifted him up and made him a national spokesperson. And then when I started, there was a race going on for the state party where Delane Easton was running for chair. And so I brought back my memories of why I was against Delane Easton when she was running for governor in 2018. And his name came up because I had been volunteering for him at the time. And next thing I know, I got slapped with a lawsuit for defamation. But it wasn't even that. He was trying to seek a restraining order. And the reality is he just wanted to drag me into court so he could see me again, because he had been stalking me for years, following me around every political event I went to. We had an agreement in place, a stipulation agreement that I got through the courts that said he needed to stay a certain distance away from me. He was constantly breaking it and telling people it didn't exist. And I was basically dragged into court, and it was going to be 2 hours away during COVID. And what he didn't realize is that the court system actually had dial-in options because of COVID. So I didn't have to get there. I did not have to drive up there. We showed up and were able to state our case. I had to hire an attorney within 2 days because he didn't give me proper notice. I was served on a Sunday evening for a Wednesday court date. And I had to prep that lawyer and pay him $5,000 to represent me. And we couldn't even get our lawyer's fees back because the end of the day, the lawyer said it sounds like a he said, she said, and that you need to sue for defamation, not for a restraining order. She doesn't even live near you. She's obviously not stalking you. She's not even like just because somebody talks about you doesn't mean it doesn't mean that they're trying to contact you, right? And we went through this whole fucking thing. And his attorney, too, was contacted by people that he accused in that case. Accused of, defending me. Basically, he said that there were people who threatened him from entering buildings on my behalf. And literally, they were just asking him to go in through a different door so he wasn't violating the stipulation agreement. And he had been telling everybody that that stipulation agreement didn't exist. I still have a copy of it, by the way. He doxed me. My address, my cell phone number, everything was out there online. And I was still being harassed by his sycophants as recently as 2022, 4 years after he initially sexually assaulted me.
Contacting someone in their real life by attempting to pretend to be that person, engage with them online with the hopes they would violate the orders in place and lead to their arrest. Now, how this will impact the actual case, I don't know, but I can certainly tell you, having went back and watched those videos, if they are still archived, there's a lot of information that will be very useful to Purple Glitter proving people were acting as someone they weren't in an attempt to reach out to her and make them contact someone she should not have. I would love to know your thoughts on this. I appreciate you watching, and
Well, I don't think the videos are a problem. I think the fact is that the attorney didn't want to represent her anymore, and she violated the no contact agreement. Now that's pretty fucking big, Gorlick Bread, to have an attorney come after you like that. That's pretty fucking big. So perhaps dial it back a little bit here. I think you're missing something if the attorney actually got her arrested based on her behavior. Because it's one thing to start reaching out to attorneys and, trying to get somebody to represent you in your case. It's another thing entirely to have an attorney say, do not ever contact me again, and if you do so, you will be arrested. That's pretty severe, Gorelick Bread. So I don't know why you would say that this is an equally balanced argument. I couldn't get through Monty's argument, his live about this, because he takes so long to get to the point that it's hard for me to follow, and I just don't have time for all that bullshit. Right? But I'm telling you, I've had my own experience in this in politics. Girl World is not unique, okay? And I know that the attorneys that represented my former friend who tried to invade my life so he could take over my organizing effort, I know that they dropped him. I don't know if they went so extreme as to say no contact. I don't know if they went that far. But I definitely spoke with their offices and said, this is what's happening. And I think you should reconsider representing him. You know what? Okay, let me tell you about a shitty politician in Orange County. Todd Spitzer, our current district attorney, he is such shit that he's a Republican, you guys, and the Republicans won't even support him. So he had to try and get progressive Democrats to get him elected. And they all look like fucking fools. Fools for helping him. Dumbasses. What were you guys thinking? He is well known for whenever he's got something going on where he knows he's going to get sued, he contacts every goddamn attorney in Orange County to discuss his case. Because once you do that, you have attorney-client privilege, and they cannot represent the other side. If they take the call and do a consultation, they cannot represent the other side. And he knows that. I've heard that on good authority from somebody who works in the DA's office. So there's that. Anyway, thanks for putting this video out. I was a little curious about what was happening, but love you, Monty, but you need to get to the fucking point, dude. Thank you, you guys. Bye.